of the 2026 second round of the NBA draft. And right off the top, folks, Austin Reeves intending to sign a 4-year, $150 million max contract to return to the Lakers. We have all the experts here to break it down. Sharpe, Bobby Marks, Iman Shumpert, and Brian Windhorst. So we're going to turn right to Shams. None of these guys got any sleep, by the way. No rest for the weary. How did this Reeves deal get done?
Hannah, so shortly after the NBA Finals, Lakers ownership and front office met with Austin Reeves and his agents at the team's practice facility in Los Angeles. And it was in a private event room, and they had all the personal touches for Austin Reeves in this meeting. They played his favorite country music. They had personalized AR-initialed pillows for Austin Reeves and everyone else that was in attendance. That's all nice, though, right? It's nice to get AR-initialed pillows for yourself.
Yeah, no
but it
kidding.
all comes down to the money. And so how did that happen today where it's 4 years, $185 million max contract for Austin Reeves? I'm told over the last 24, 48 hours, the Lakers came to the understanding that Austin Reeves had multiple max contracts available to him in free agency if he hit the market on July 1. One of those teams, the Detroit Pistons, were coming aggressively for him. So that's why today the Lakers stepped up, give him this deal, 4 years, $185 million. He becomes the richest player ever to sign a contract at this level for an undrafted player in NBA history. And you think about his story, he doesn't get picked in 2021 in the draft. He ends up on a two-way contract after going undrafted. He's running errands for Russell Westbrook in training camp as a good young player for a good veteran. And now, 4 years later, he signs for 4 years, $185 million.
Yeah, he wasn't one of these guys that we've been talking about tonight to last night. So it is a remarkable story, and he's got pillows to boot. What are the cap implications, Bobby, now for the Lakers?
There is none right now, and we'll give you a little bit of cap minutia. Austin Reeves has a $21 million free agent hold, so we've been projecting the Lakers with roughly $50 million in room. That includes that $21 million hold. So basically, the Lakers can go out and spend that money, likely on LeBron James and maybe a center. And then once they've exhausted cap space, they can circle back and exceed the salary cap and sign Austin Reeves to that contract, $41.3 million. Now, next year, when you're paying Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic close to $100 million, then of course you get some cap. But for right now, Laker fans, still got that $50 million to go out and use in free agency.
Okay, yeah, so what is the LeBron of it all, Wendy?
Yeah, this is why the cap is a complicated thing, and we have people like Bobby that are so valuable. The Lakers can spend kind of whatever they want on Austin Reeves and it not impact their cap position, but whatever they spend on LeBron James will take away their cap space.
For sure.
I know it's strange, but that's just the way that it is. You're just going to have to trust me. So now what the Lakers are probably going to try to do is, if you have Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic on your perimeter, you're going to win a lot of games. You're going to score a lot of points, but you're going to have a problem on defense. So the Lakers have got to use this $50 million to somehow help them with their interior defense. It doesn't have to be via free agency. It can be via trade, but they've got to make this operation work together. And then after they address that, and it would be helpful if they could get some wing defense while they were at it, then they could come to LeBron James basically with whatever is left over. Will that be something LeBron is willing to accept?
Ooh.
Stay tuned.
I mean, can they overcome these defensive deficiencies that they've already locked themselves into with Luka and Austin Reeves?
I thought it was odd that, you signed with that much money to sign a guy that, you was having issues defensively. We all knew that. I do now understand it now that you've let me know that Detroit was going to knock at his door, because him going to Detroit actually makes a lot of sense. So I understand their move to say, let's keep our guy. But when I saw Sanak still sitting there during the draft, I was thinking interior defense, rim protection. You know, you needed a big guy, you needed presence, you needed good hands. He was sitting right there. So it was an interesting pick they had last night. And I guess I'm excited to see what LeBron will do, because we don't know and I have no insight.
Yeah, because we tried to get you to ask him on your Cavaliers reunion tour.
He is greatly media trained. His media training, A1.
Yeah. I just want to point something out. Detroit now has not gotten their man, all right? Detroit, I think, had interest in Tyler Hero before he was traded to Milwaukee for Giannis. They had interest in Austin Reeves. They didn't get it. Detroit's going to get somebody as a scoring guard to put alongside Cade Cunningham. So keep that in mind as we go into free agency.
Kobe White, another name, who's a free agent. Norman Powell's another name. So these are the types of names, like Brian just said, that you think, you look at the Pistons that they will pursue.
Good, because this gives us a lot to talk about, all right?
yeah.
We're far from done after the draft, right? We got free agency coming up, all sorts of stuff. But for now, we are here in Barclays. And back in the draft, we have BYU's A.J. Debonsa, selected #1 overall by the Wizards. And his new teammate, Trae Young, gave him a call last night after his big moment.
We're gonna have this conversation later, brother. I just want you to enjoy this night, brother. I just want you to have fun, man. This is a one-on-one opportunity, brother. You don't get to do this once, so you deserve it, man. You deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody gets to set the #1 pick, so you know what I'm saying? Enjoy your shit, bro. We're gonna talk soon.
So there we go. We have Debonsa, we have Young, we have Anthony Davis. I guess at least for now, they're in D.C. How'd the Wizards come to that decision? Because nobody really knew where they were going to go.
Yeah, Hannah, they did a good job trying to keep it a secret, but internally, the Wizards had long come to the decision that A.J. Debonsa was their guy. Internally, they view him as the same type of transcendent talent and prospect that they have with Anthony Davis back in the day when AD got drafted to New Orleans and the Cooper Flags of the world. They look at him as the perfect fit next to Trae Young at point guard. You know, you have Anthony Davis in the middle, and now A.J. Debonsa provides this big wing who's athletic, dynamic, can create his own shot. They really feel like he was by far the best player in this draft. And again, that's surprising because Michael Ringer, Will Dawkins, they did their research on Darren Peterson. They did their research on Cam Boozer, but they land on A.J. Debonsa. And I think they probably decided on this when they got the #1.
So, and it was never a debate then in your mind. All right. Interestingly, we have this team that lost, 26 of their last 27 games. How much does Debonsa move the needle? They locked down Trae Young. How should we be viewed?
Well, when they've lost 26 of the last 27, Trae Young was not playing by design.
Right.
Anthony Davis was not playing by partial design. They were coming off injuries, but they were not really season-ending. But now they're going to bring all three of them into the mix.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, you're going to upgrade your whole team like that. This is the way they designed this. I'm calling it the flip. The Jazz are doing the exact same thing. They acquired players last year. They didn't really play down the stretch.
You mean they're going to try to win?
Exactly. So we're going to see teams that were 1-2 in the draft try to make the playoffs, or at the very least to play in next year. And listen, I think it's possible. Trae Young is going to put up points. He's going to put up assists. Anthony Davis is going to make an immediate impact defensively. He's going to be motivated potentially by a contract. And Debonsa is going to score from day one. There are going to be issues that he has transitioned to the NBA game. I think he's going to put up 20 points a game like that. And I think in the Eastern Conference, they can sniff getting into that 9-10 range.
All right, this is a pretty decent looking lineup here.
like
Sharpe, do you see them as a playing team?
I do, because when I look at it, all Trae Young needs is somebody that's dangerous on the back. He's always been good with a pick and roll.